Hey Coven, welcome back. I am Runa Strong and this is my channel, The Heathen Hedge Witch. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about something really cool that is a big part of my practice as a pagan and a witch, which is utilizing cannabis in your craft. Before we get started with all of the yummy juicy details, I just feel like I should say that you really should respect your local laws when it comes to cannabis because it is unfortunately not legal everywhere like it should be. Law enforcement can be dicks. So just do what you gotta do that's legal for you. If you can only partake with CBD, please keep that in mind. There's lots of ways to utilize cannabis within your craft, and today we are going to talk about that. So as always, I've got my notes, so if I look down at any point, I'm just checking those to make sure I didn't miss anything. And yeah, I'm glad to be back. I took a little break for a spiritual hangover, so to speak, and doing some shadow work, and here I am. And I've got a little bit of a cold, but I'm feeling better. So let's get into it. The first thing I feel like I should mention, of course, is the healing properties that are within cannabis, and that includes THC as well as CBD. I'm just going to be using cannabis as an umbrella term for both of those things, but both of them can be utilized within your craft in the ways that I'm about to mention. Okay. So it has a lot of healing properties, and that can include helping with inflammation, reducing pain levels, helping with anxiety or depression as far as mental healing goes. There's a bunch of ways that you could use that for your practice. And if you've been in this path for a while, you're starting to realize that walking this path means bettering yourself, and sometimes that means healing yourself. And alternative healing is definitely applicable for that. Girl. So I think one of my favorite things to do is I like topical CBD treatments. That really helps a lot with my fibromyalgia pain disorder that I struggle with. And I like to smoke. It helps a lot with anxiety struggles and depression issues, and that's something that I will do a lot on my path just to help me be a better person, to stay on top of my game, and to stop feeling like all my ailments are holding me back. I'm able to kick them in the teeth and keep going. So that confidence boost that I get from utilizing cannabis in my craft and in my daily life is definitely one of the biggest perks when it comes to cannabis. Something that you will see a lot of people doing, especially if they are on the shamanism part of this sort of path, is trance work or astral travel or dream work. And cannabis is one of the plants that help with that. Other ones that you could utilize are like mugwort or St. John's wort or lavender or chamomile. They all have relaxing and some have psychoactive effects to help you with traversing into the other realms. One of my favorite ways to utilize cannabis in my craft is to give it as an offering. I find that a lot of deities and spirits really enjoy it. I feel like it helps them in a different way than it helps us as far as connecting back and forth. And they all seem to really like it, whether it's ancestors, even if they didn't smoke while they were alive, it helps them in the spirit realm in a way that they're able to connect better. And I find that they really enjoy that as an offering. A lot of land spirits will enjoy that as an offering. A lot of Vanir, as they are nature gods, will enjoy that as an offering. It really depends on you and your path, but it's definitely something, you know, whether you roll them up one and you just like sit out there, or like me with Odin, he just had me one day, was like, just put it right in the flame and we'll smoke it together. And I used the burning bud to like cleanse his whole space and myself and give him the smoke as well. Like, the way I do that with Odin is special, and I always feel really good afterwards. Like using weed like a smudge wand is not something I ever would have considered to do before, because I would be like, oh, it's wasteful, but it's actually not. And the vibes that come off of it when utilized that way is really it feels good, man. It feels great. So that's definitely something I recommend trying. One of my favorite things about utilizing weed in your craft is the fact that you can embody all 4 key elements at once with a bong rip. You have water in your bong, you have your earth in your bowl, and then when you take fire to your earth, you're creating air. You're creating that smoke in the air. And it's a really nice way to cleanse and charge yourself if you're going to go in. You know, you don't want to get blasted. Like, you're not trying to get stoned or baked, but just that little, like, pick-me-up before some spell work can be really nice. Especially if you're, like, sharing it with Loki or whoever you work with. They might really enjoy getting that little woohoo with you to kind of supercharge them in their energies so that they are ready to perform alongside with you. And I just, man, bong rips hit different. And I don't mean that literally, but yes, also literally, but I mean spiritually. They just do. And I don't know, man. I can't really explain that much beyond that. You'll just have to try it for yourself. If it's legal for you. Only if it's legal for you. Don't, like, you know, don't go to jail and be like, well, Runa said, because it's my practice. I don't know how far that will go in court, so don't you fucking say that. Don't you put my name in that basket. Something that I think is really special when it comes to utilizing cannabis in your craft is the fact that you can smoke cleanse within. And there's a lot of other herbs that you can do that with, as far as, you know, lavender or mugwort again, or you can smoke roses, or you can smoke different kinds of mint. There's a lot of things that you can do, but I find that with a cannabis base, some of the other ones aren't as harsh because they can make a very thick, dense smoke that will just make you cough really hard. And I mean, maybe that's how you like to cleanse. Personally, I don't. I don't like when it feels like my lungs are on fire. So I like to do things a little bit differently. That is a good way to utilize it in your craft, is to smoke cleanse yourself, your body. The same way that you do with sage or santo or whatever kind of bundle mixtures that you do. Something that I'm not sure people think about when it comes to utilizing cannabis is the fact that you're working with plant matter, so it has grounding properties. Even just breaking it up with your hands or in the grinder, or planting it and working with your seeds in the dirt in your pots. I'm talking about pots and I said pots. It will have a grounding effect on you if utilized properly. And something that I also should mention is that if you're going to smoke to cleanse or charge yourself, you can grind it to the right to charge or to the left to cleanse, and then smoke, inhale the good shit, exhale the bullshit kind of thing, and pull in your intentions and release your blockages with your exhales and inhales, and it becomes a ritual, man. It's a really simple way. If you smoke every day anyways, it's a really simple way to add a magical flair to your everyday life and to feel connected. Just putting that intention in there of, I'm connecting to plant matter and this is bringing me closer to Gaia or Wyrd or whatever you want to call Mother Earth. And you know, packing that bowl in with the intention of, I'm going to get stuff done today. I'm going to stay motivated. I'm going to rise above my pain. And I'm going to kick today right in the ass. Like, whew, you know, you can go in there with those intentions and it becomes a thing. Just, you know, it's very similar to stirring intentions into your coffee and then drinking that coffee and letting those intentions just help you through. It's a very similar process, just with a different kind of plant matter. Now, I don't do this super often. Maybe if I start growing my own, I'll feel differently. But something that you can do is add cannabis to your spells or rituals or things of that sort beyond just an offering purpose. So cannabis has a bunch of different properties that could be utilized within spell work, such as healing properties, of course. We already know that with CBD and the effects that it has physically on the body. That much science has proven. But also metaphysical things, such as bringing in abundance. It works kind of like honey because it's a sweet, sticky fertilizer. Like bees and butterflies love weed because it tastes good, because it makes their product and the honey taste good. I'm not a beekeeper, so I don't know how it works. If you could get honey infused with THC that way, or if there has to be more of a process kind of like when you make THC butter, if you have to actually like work with it, or if they can just like make it that way. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but I'm saying, wouldn't that be dope? All puns intended. That would be fucking amazing. Can we please, somebody do that? And let me come live on your bee farm. But for real though, there's a lot of purposes that you can use it in spells and rituals. I definitely highly recommend it for any healing, any self-love, self-doubt, blockage removal. It's really good for manifesting or attracting or abundance. It's just got a lot of multi-purposes. It's kind of like, you know, bay leaves or cinnamon. It's just one of those things that has multiple purposes, and this is why I stress talking to your ingredients, because otherwise your ingredients are going to be like, what are we all doing in here? A lot of us have like 9 purposes. What one do you want this time? And then it'll just be a hodgepodge in your jar that you didn't really tell it what to do, so it doesn't know. It's just sitting there like, good talk. Did you say anything? I'm confused. Don't leave your ingredients confused. Tell them what their purpose is, and that includes with weed. If you're sitting there and you're just going to be like, this weed is going to help me feel motivated because you're smoking a sativa because you're smart, and you're like, this weed is going to help me get all of my chores done today because damn it, I have like 10 loads of laundry to do plus the dishes, and I got a mop award again. Yes, honey, I've been there. I'm a mom of a 3-year-old and I have 4 fur babies. I get it. I get it. I get it. We just gotta carve out that time for ourselves. And sometimes, this is honestly my favorite way to utilize weed, is in your self-care routine. And your self-care routine should become a part of your daily practice routine. And that's a video for another day, probably around Mother's Day. You know, we all deserve that as moms. But for now, this is just the highlight reel. This is the gist of how to utilize cannabis within your craft. If you would like to see more videos like this, please comment below and let me know any other questions that you have regarding cannabis or witchcraft or paganism or anything like that, and I will try to keep that in mind for future planned videos. Thank you so much for watching with me. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I know I hate when people say that, but I'm a new guy and we have to ask. It's just, you know, click the bell, do the thing. If you want to, no pressure if you don't. If you don't want to hang out with me, if you don't like me, don't hang out with me and then hate me in the comments. You can just leave, that's fine. Like, I don't want anyone to be here that doesn't want to be here. But if you want to hang out, you know, you do that too. Oh, why am I rambling so much? Can you tell that I haven't had dinner yet? My thoughts are everywhere. I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Stay weird, think like the madman Odin himself, and until next time, love and peace. Bye.